The WBC president Mauricio Suleiman says IBF, WBC, WBO unified light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev must defend against his WBC mandatory challenger Callum Smith, and he can't face WBA world champion Dmitry Bivol as he would like to do. The WBA world champion Dmitry Bivol is ineligible to fight the unified champion Artur Beterbiev because the WBC prohibits Russian fighters from fighting for their titles. Although Artur Beterbiev is Russian, he lives and fights out of Montreal, Canada. This means the unified champion Artur Beterbiev will need to face Callum Smith next unless Dmitry Bivol asks for an exception or if Artur Beterbiev vacates the WBC title. Since Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol are interested in fighting for the undisputed championship at light heavyweight division, vacating the WBC belt is not an option. The WBC's decision to block Dmitry Bivol from fighting Artur Beterbiev will surely make Callum Smith promoter Eddie Hearn happy because that's the fight he wants next. As Callum Smith promoter, Eddie Hearn wants him to challenge the top-ranked promoted Artur Beterbiev for his WBC belt. If the former WBA super middleweight champion Callum Smith defeats Artur Beterbiev, it's even better for Hearn because it would set up another in-house fight. Callum Smith would then face Dmitry Bivol for the undisputed light heavyweight championship. In the meantime, Eddie Hearn, who promotes Dmitry Bivol as well, plans on keeping him in-house with his company, matching him against his fighter Joshua Buatsi in April, then Canelo Alvarez in September for the rematch. Eddie Hearn also promotes Saul Canelo Alvarez so that Bivol-Canelo rematch will be another in-house fight for him. Eddie Hearn could easily submit a petition to the WBC to allow Dmitry Bivol to fight Artur Beterbiev for their belt, but he's not going to do that because he's got other plans in mind. As I said, Eddie Hearn wants Dmitry Bivol to stable fighters Joshua Buatsi in April and Canelo Alvarez in September. The WBC president Mauricio Suleiman said, "At this moment, I insist, there has not been a petition from Dmitry Bivol. For us, the mandatory fight is next, about Artur Beterbiev needing to defend against his WBC mandatory Callum Smith next." Dmitry Bivol has not approached WBC to ask for an exemption. At our last convention, we were very clear about our position in relation to fighters from Russia and Belarus. And that is the case with Dmitry Bivol. Mauricio Suleiman said about Artur Beterbiev. Yes, definitely he is a pound for pound. Callum Smith is a marvelous fighter. His only loss was a unanimous decision with Canelo Alvarez. So, the mandatory fight between Artur Beterbiev and Callum Smith will be very important.